Are we live?
We are.
I'll tell you what's been bugging me. Honey mustard's been lying to me for a while. So, my whole life, I thought honey mustard had to be this extremely high calorie dressing. Because anytime you look at the back of a honey mustard container, you just see it's just like full of sugar. And yeah, it's like a little sweeter. But I was like, okay, what are the main components of honey mustard? It's honey and mustard,
Correct.
which honey has very few calories and mustard has absolutely zero. And I was
Correct.
like, why should this not be like 10 calories? So, of course, I go to HEB and I go past all the salad dressings and I go to the burger sauces. And there it is, just honey and mustard, 10 calories. And then I was thinking, well, I'm putting burger sauce on my salad every day now. I'm like, if I used regular honey mustard, people would say, okay, a little childish, but it's fine. It's a salad dressing. If I were to squirt yellow mustard and regular bee honey on a salad, people would look at me like I have 10 eyes.
I agree. They would lose that.
Anyway, that's the whole round. So that's going to be a great clip.
Yeah.
It tastes just the same.
Before we finish on the honey mustard, what are your thoughts on Grey Poupon?
I've tried it before. It is too horseradish for
Okay,
me.
I was gonna say it's honey mustard with horseradish.
Yeah,
It's like the stone ground mustard.
I don't want to feel the mustard in my nose.
Okay, I was just wondering because I had sushi today and I'm a big wasabi guy and I love that
also
pain.
don't like. I don't
love that pain. I don't know what it is.
I don't want my food to hurt me.
I think that's why I made Ina stop drinking my Topo Chico because she likes to open it and let it let the fizz out. Because one thing I've learned is Topo Chico is by far the highest carbonated water out there. And so I went to Costco yesterday and I bought a 12-pack of Topo Chico bottles and a 12-pack of Pellegrino because I think Pellegrino is like a step above tap water in terms of carbonation.
It has a weird taste to me.
And I
It
said,
tastes like French people.
okay. And I said, these Pellegrinos, these are yours because I can't watch you open Topo Chico and just let the carbonation go out for no joke, 20 minutes so that it's
She lets it cool down.
so it's tolerable for you to drink. I said, Pellegrino, you can get your level of carbonation right off the rip. So stay away from my Topo.
So if you ever want to go to Starbucks and get a coffee that's not boiling hot and instead it's just warm, you ask for it kids temp. That's basically what Ina's doing with that Topo. She wants a kids temp.
Well, so yeah, temp in terms of carbonation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you mentioned the 50-year mortgage, and it's funny because I was at a networking group and someone else mentioned the 50-year mortgage. But what was interesting to me was I was in Europe last month. I was in Switzerland, and then I was in Germany. And through just regular old drinking conversations, I started asking people who owned homes. I said, tell me a little bit about your situation with your mortgage. Like, how does it work here? How do you get approved? What are the terms and conditions? What are the interest rates? And without going into too much detail, the one thing that was very interesting to me is the way that Switzerland does their loans. So in Switzerland, they, first and foremost, you pretty much have to have 20% down no matter what, right? But the big difference is that you go in and depending on how long you want your rate kind of term fixed for, will determine on the rate that you get. So for example, most interest rate terms are based anywhere between 3 to 5 years on when you have to renegotiate your interest rate. So there's no such thing as a 30-year fixed out there. And what was even more interesting to me is that they don't have terms on their mortgage at all. They pay interest only. The bank has zero desire for you to actually pay your house off. They want to continue to collect the interest. They want to continue to negotiate the interest rate every 3, 5. The longest term that you can get a fixed rate for is 10 years. But if you're like, I want my rate to be fixed for 10 years, you pretty much are getting like the highest fucking rate out there because you're kind of guaranteeing. And then I said, well, what about like refinance opportunities? Like if you go for that 10-year term and let's just say it's 6% and then rates come down, they said their prepayment penalties are like through the roof. So there is no like refinance really that's not going to just like totally deter you from refinancing. So most people do like a 3 to 5 year term. But the point of this is that I think the most interesting part of it was the guy that I was talking to was explaining to me that no one ever really like applies money towards their principal ever. Like you buy a house, you pay interest only, you count on appreciation, of course, and then all the money that you like pretty much save, if you will, and this is where I don't think this would work in the US, you invest it, right? So like if you amortize the loan, let's just use like a $500,000 loan amount. If you amortize that loan at like a 5% interest rate, you're going to end up paying payments just in terms of principal and interest of around $3,500, right? Let's just check that real quick here since we have the calculator, because I don't want to sound like a jackass. But you know, at 6% interest, look at that, $3,100. So they're paying the interest only, which on 500,000 times 6% divided by 12 is only $2,500. That's a delta of $600 a month that in the US they require you to start paying back the debt that you owe. In Switzerland, they're like, no, we're cool with it. Just give us our interest. We don't care if you're not paying down your mortgage. But the reason that I love it, but then I don't think it would work in the US, is that in Switzerland, they're huge on savings. So like, they're like, how much money can I put into my stocks? How much money can I put into like my retirement or anything like that? Where I think the average American would look at that $600 worth of savings and they would be like, where can we go on vacation?
Yeah. I think one of the great things about having a regular American loan is the forced savings.
Right. And that's exactly right. It is a forced savings account, which isn't the worst thing in the world. And then I guess the other piece of it too is that there is some kind of, so like what he was describing is I was like, so why wouldn't you want to pay off your home? Why do you want to continue to just pay interest to the bank? He's like, well, if I really was going to like, you know, if I was taking all of the money that I was saving by not paying to the principal, investing it into the market, making money, and then maybe in like, because he's about my age, he's like, maybe in like 10 or 15 years, if I truly felt like I was going to live in this home forever, I could pull money from my retirement account at that point that I had made over the last like 15 years, and I could just pay my house off in cash.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why wouldn't I just do that? And it does, a lot of it makes sense, but yeah, it's that forced savings account that I think would become a major issue in the U.S. because I don't think people would be taking their money, and some people would, but I don't think the majority would be investing in, you know, figuring out ways to make money on the money that they're saving. Reason of this entire conversation is the 50-year mortgage. Like, it's blowing people's minds that why would we do a 50-year mortgage? Well, a 50-year mortgage still is an amortized loan, meaning that you're putting money toward the principal, where interest only, you're not putting anything toward the principal. Now, of course, he's like, if you wanted to, I mean, you could apply money to the principal, but why?
I mean, for the short time that most people own homes now, I mean, kind of makes sense. Like, I think the amount of money I've owned my house since summer 2022. I think the amount of money I've actually put into my principal is maybe 20 grand.
Right.
That's not much.
That's a good point too, I guess. When you front load the interest like that, it's all up front, so you are kind of paying interest only for the first few years.
Yeah, pretty much for the first 10 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but then I guess you could argue you would have had an extra $20,000. What would you have done with it? And if you would have invested it, I mean, you'd probably have 25, 27.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that much more. I don't know. Market's done well, but yeah, even at that 10% return.
Food for thought, though, in terms of everyone thinking that a 50-year mortgage is just absolutely craziness, because although I'm not a huge fan of it, I remember in my early days back before 2008, I mean, we did interest only loans all the time. I mean, that was a product, and there are still some like banks, like kind of credit unions and stuff, like Fannie and Freddie doesn't do them. You could find an interest only loan if you really really search for it, but
I think if your goal was only to own the house for just a couple years, it makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a risk because obviously, if you want to sell and you lose a little bit in terms of value, and you didn't put much down, but that's the other part of it. They're required to put down 20%.
Mm.
That's what it would do. It would eliminate, and maybe that's what they're going to require with a 50-year mortgage. Maybe it's going to be something where it's like, yeah, we'll give you a 50-year mortgage if you put down 10%.
Mm. But I feel like most of the people then needing the 50-year mortgage are going to say, where am I supposed to get $50,000?
Well, it could be a good refinance program. Say you lived in the home for maybe 10 years and you do have 10% equity. Now you can, like I would be a candidate for that right now. I could turn around and do a 50-year mortgage because I definitely have the equity for it. And I wouldn't have to come out of pocket with anything. That could be good.
It's thought.
What was the other topic you wanted to cover on here today?
Oh, yeah. So yesterday you asked me, one of our water cooler conversations about how you should approach agents in their open houses.
We should get a water cooler.
Yeah, I know a guy who sells them.
Thank you.
And he's dying to put one in here.
Yeah.
Shout out, James. But I was actually hoping that I could just tell everyone what I told you because let's just make the community better. All right. So our issue is Matt wants to meet more agents, and he wants to go. What would you call it? Bust up their open house.
Just want to do a little pop in.
Crash the open house.
Just a little pop in.
He wants to do a pop in, and the issue is a lot of agents hate when lenders do this because you get. I'm just going to tell you the same story, but you get the same guy who comes in with a folder. He's wearing his branded polo, and he finds a way to corner you into the room, immediately introduces himself as a lender, shows you his portfolio and his rates, and just puts it in your face about buyer credit scores and things. And then as soon as you're like, okay, I'll take your information, then they're like, okay, bye. And they leave. And I think, wow. That was a horrible interaction. I had to get up off the couch for this. Mm-hmm. So what I told Matt was the best interaction I've ever had as far as someone coming to try to seek my business at my open house was one of my inspectors, Brian Baca, shout out, came in with a branded lunchbox that had a couple different snacks, had all of his information in it too, because of course I was sitting there. Of course I'm going to read it. Came in, pretty much put it down, introduced himself, and left. Which I think Matt should take it up one step, and I think every lender should take it up one step. And for me as an agent, I want some form of canned or bottled coffee, nothing with an open container because I don't know if lenders are spiking my drinks. Canned or bottled coffee. I want a snack, whether that be protein bar or popcorn or Cheetos, or find me something good. And then I'd like that lender to walk in, introduce himself as a lender, then say, hey, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to take a video of the house so I can share it on my social media where all of my followers are realtors. Would you like to be in it or not? I can tag you. And then film the video and get the hell out. Leave your card. Get out.
I'm going to do all of that this Saturday, except there is one thing. I was shopping and I bought something, and I guess I'll get your reaction live here. I know you said canned or bottled coffee, but I think I found something that was better.
I'm ready.
I bought these. They were kind of pricey too. I bought these cold-pressed juices, health juices.
Okay. I think that'd be fun.
Everyone's on a health kick.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Right?
I think anything besides, we always have bottled water or bottled sparkling water.
Well, I feel like energy drinks are getting a bad rap.
Yeah.
Coffee is a good one, but I know not everyone drinks coffee. And I thought cold pressed juice, that's healthy, right?
Yeah,
like one of them's like a green goddess.
That's a good one.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because it'd be something that I would be excited to try, but probably wouldn't splurge for myself.
Perfect.
Hmm.
Yep. They're like little 8-ounce bottles of cold pressed juice.
That's gonna be a good one. I think that's gonna go over well.
Fuck yeah.
What's the snack?
I bought, and I even scanned them with the Yucca app, if you know what that is.
You show me.
I got protein bars.
Okay.
Yeah. Chocolate chip cookie, peanut butter, and cookies and cream.
Okay. What brand?
They are Kirkland brand. They scan the best.
Nice.
Yeah.
The ones I've been eating the most are Built brand. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure like Mr. Beast owns them. I might be making this up. It just looks like his branding because it looks just like his chocolate bars. That's why. But yeah, it tastes like chocolate covered marshmallow. And
Okay.
at Costco, they have them in like there's a brownie flavor and there's a coconut flavor. Both of them.
Is there a
highly
guy
suggest-
on the front of them?
No.
Okay.
It's the box is half blue, half brown.
Okay. Yeah, I scanned a bunch of them, and then because you made me feel very aware. I wanted to be very aware of the health side of things.
Mhm.
Hence the reason that we're doing a tri-tip sirloin tomorrow at Barbecue.
Oh!
Mingle. Yeah. Burr, 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 burr.
With honey mustard.
Lean beef. No brisket. Lean beef.
I can't
I'm
wait.
trying to keep everything as fat-free as possible.
Mm.
So, going to be the first time I've done a tri-tip for Barbecue and Mingle. I'm doing 2 of them, actually. It's going to be exciting.
I'm bringing a realtor buddy tomorrow, so
Fantastic.
I'll tell you about him off air.
Okay.
But well, that's exciting. Let's see. What was the other thing we're gonna? Oh, I got another topic. Shout out to a realtor named Erin. I can't pronounce her last name, but it starts with an S.
Is that Aaron with an E or Aaron with a double A?
Erin with an E. Erin.
A woman.
It's her last name's like Scabalaba, something like that.
Aaron Scabalaba.
Yeah. Anyway, she's a big deal here. I just never took the time to learn her last name. Well, this is really not going well. Anyway, we're gonna clip that part out. But when I make the small clip, we can leave it in the large one. But anyway, she brought up a good idea. Why are builders not building cool houses anymore? All the houses that you see, okay. I think we could all draw a picture of what a custom new build house looks like. And it's always modern, large box. It's either white or black. It takes up pretty much the entire lot. And it is fully open floor plan. Usually all the bedrooms are upstairs. Downstairs is pretty much all living room and kitchen. There's really nothing unique about them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at new build neighborhoods, all of their houses pretty much the same. You're either going to have your 1-story or 2-story, pretty much flat box, neutral colors, pretty boring. You're going to have a 2-car garage. Anyway, I just find there's nothing exciting about them. And whether you are D.R. Horton or Lennar or KB Homes, they all pretty much look the same. Why are builders not building cool stuff anymore? Like, if you go take a walk around Hyde Park or Rosedale or Holly, Chestnut, Travis Heights, you can see all these really cool anywhere from 1930s through 1970s houses that are all unique shape, have all kinds of little arches and triangles, and they might have large windows or small windows or little doors. Builders aren't making cool stuff anymore. And I think if there was a builder that said, we're going to make a whole neighborhood of just classic looking, vintage looking houses, I think it would get gobbled up in a minute. And it doesn't cost them anymore. I mean, yeah, they might need new architecture drawings.
I think that's what it is. I think that it's more difficult to build things like that, not just because of material, but because of the actual labor. If you do everything with straight lines and 90-degree angles, you can have unskilled workers building those. And so I agree with you.
But I just find it tough to believe that workers had more skills in the 60s than they did now.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, people were just different back then.
Okay, this brings me to other things. So I was in Europe.
Yeah.
You go to all these churches that were built in like the 1600s. You go to the Colosseum that was built in the BC. And I'm like, you couldn't build this now.
I mean, you probably could, but again,
have you been to the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona?
I just think that things were taken way more seriously back then. Nowadays it's like, how cheap can we build a brand? I mean, you're a real estate agent. You of all people know this. Like, I'm not like this. You can ask anyone. I love older homes. I love the charm of homes, and I see a ton of value in that. I'd say over 80% of my clients are like, I want to buy a new build because, I don't want there to be any problems with it. And like, there's just no love for the house. It's like, I don't get it, but people want shit cheap, and
I would somewhat
people wanted to
contradict
live in
that.
containers, for fuck's sake. Think about that.
Well,
Container homes.
Yes, because those same people were previously living in RVs, mobile homes on wheels.
I don't know, man.
But I think anyone who walks into a classic, charming house, I mean, and these are the homes that are demanding the highest value right now. I mean,
well, that's the point.
You
man.
hardly see any for sale signs in Travis Heights, Hyde Park, Rosedale. I mean, there's still homes to be sold there, but I think the people who are looking for newer homes just don't want the uh, additional maintenance involved in owning these classic homes.
Maybe.
But if these classic homes were fully remodeled,
Mhm.
those are the ones that are selling at a premium right now.
For sure.
They still kept the
again,
classic charm.
It's all about the money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're spot on. I think if you could figure out a way to build, to your point, like a classic style home for the cost of a cookie cutter DR Horton home,
Yeah.
then I think you're
And
100%.
this is the next business. So
I
I'm
just
now
don't-
looking for
I
land.
just don't know if it can be done. I really don't. Yeah, I think, and I think this brings up another great topic. I unfortunately feel like a lot of people are buying homes based on price more than, like, how do I say this? So I'm kind of surprised at the amount of people that are willing to go way outside of the city to get something that kind of like meets their square footage needs and sacrifice location for square footage and for like newer. Again, I guess it's just a personal preference, but I'm surprised by that. Like, I always thought people sought more value in location than like square footage and year built. And I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know if it's because I come from a place where there's just a ton of, older inventory. But location has always been like the most important thing for the majority of the people that I know. And I'm shocked at the amount of people are like, yeah, I really want to live like in Austin, for example. They're like, but I just can't find anything that's, 4 bedrooms and 4,000 square feet for under $500,000. So I'm going to move to Buda. I'm like, really?
Well, it doesn't exist in Butte either.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
If you want, gosh, over 3,000 square feet with, I'm literally looking at that map of Austin right now. Under 500,000, I think your only shot is Easton Park, and I still don't know if you get under 500 in Austin. But then you could probably go to Round Rock. You could probably go to Hutto.
But I guess my point is like, and what's interesting is the people that are having these issues are not even issues. I'm seeing like 30-year-old married couples with no kids. Now I get it. Maybe they're trying to plan for the future and everything along those lines, but there's no way that they want to live in the city. Like, you're looking at that map, but they would never in a million years even consider like a 1,200 square foot home. And in my opinion, it's like, well, for starters, for 2 people, 1,200 square feet is very, very manageable. And then I watch them say, you know what, we're just going to rent. And then they go rent a 1,200 square foot apartment that's like in the city.
Because they know it's not forever.
So a house is forever?
In their eyes.
And that's another great thing that we've talked about on this before. Like, the fact that people buy homes with the intention that like that's where they have to live for the rest of their lives is another thing that I think is just such a misnomer. I don't understand why that is thing.
My favorite line when I'm working with renters who are being picky, as I say, it's just 12 months.
Right.
Do you like it or not? Like, if they're like, well, it's really cool and I really like it, but I just think about the future. I'm like, the future doesn't matter. It's 12 months. Whereas, like, with your home, like, we're usually talking about the idea of, like, okay, well, what are your future plans? Do you plan to have kids one day? And so going back to location versus a house, I think there's some people, both of us are like this, where we'd rather be out doing something else than be at home most of the time.
Yeah.
But there's some people who would rather be at home all the
That's a
time.
good point. I
And
know
they
where you're
still
going with
want
this.
to be convenient to work. They still want to be able to have grocery stores not too far. Nobody likes traffic. But I think there's people with a higher tolerance. And so from what I saw in Cleveland, where you're from, like, it seems like there's a lot more convenience as far as walkability, as far as things weren't as far away. But if you're coming from California, if you're coming from Houston, if you're coming from Atlanta, you're used to driving an hour everywhere anyway, so your
Yeah.
tolerance is different. And so
Yeah.
you might consider Buda that's, 20 minutes from South Austin or 30 minutes from downtown. You might say, that's not
And
bad.
I don't hate Buda by any means. I just used it as an example of, where I'm seeing people that are unwilling to. I mean, again, everything has trade-offs, right? If everybody had $1 million, they would buy land and build, right?
If there was enough land,
Right.
I'd mow down
There you
an
go.
existing house to. I'm personally someone who loves location because
Yeah.
I want to be convenient to all my things. Like, there are some very cool houses if you get out of town. I was near Lake Travis today, and I mean, I don't think anything over there's really fallen in my budget, but there could be some really nice views from my house. But then I think about I'm never home,
Right.
so I would
Yeah.
just be sitting in traffic.
Exactly. I think it's interesting you mentioned too. There are some people that never leave their house, so they want to be in like a larger home that all they need to do is like get to an HEB and get back to their little castle.
And they might commute to work, and they don't want to sit in traffic, which is why they said they wanted to be in Austin.
Right.
Um,
Well, I would love it if D.R. Horton just started building more charming homes.
I agree. Bring back the cottages. Bring back the
I want
the Tudors.
I want the Victorian style stuff, man.
Ooh,
You remember?
give me like the San Francisco row home style.
No. I want the house on Stranger Things.
Oh hell yeah.
I looked that house up. It's in Georgia. It's only 1.1, I think 1.1 million, which I mean, it's a gigantic house. I wouldn't need something that big, but I think that house is awesome. I love houses like that. Those like old Victorians with the veranda that goes all the way around and everything like that. You got the little tower and whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I want that. That's charming.
I need a tower. I need a widow's walk.
Sure.
I need a
Widow's
lighthouse.
Peak.
Yeah.
You know how that got that name, right?
The widow's peak
No,
Or-
in the house.
or the widow's walk.
There's a widow's peak in a house, right?
You're talking about when you walk out the like attic window
Yeah.
to look for your husband that went astray on his fishing boat.
Well, I thought it was when they were coming home from the war type of thing.
Oh, I thought it was from their fishing
Yeah,
fishing trips.
It's when you're like waiting for your husband to come home from war, and you might be a widow because he's
Oh.
not coming home.
I thought I always picture it to be in New England and them be lobster fishing
Okay.
and them to come back on their boats.
Well, either way, it's a widow because
Oh, okay.
he's not coming home.
Yeah.
So, right on.
Huh.
What else you want to cover, man?
Let's see. What else been trending lately?
I got something that
okay.
we talked about that I thought was interesting. I feel like with 2024 and 2025 in the real estate business being really, really slow, that we as real estate professionals have lost control a little bit of the transactions with our clients, and clients have kind of gotten out of control. And what I mean by that is that, when you're hiring a real estate professional, obviously you're hiring them for their advice and their expertise. And I feel like lately I've been seeing a lot of situations where, because I'll just say it, like, because business is slow and everybody's kind of tight on cash, you're kind of going to clients and being like, well, what do you think? What do you want to do? Like, do you think this is a good idea? And things have gotten a little out of hand with clients just kind of doing whatever they want, like I have a crazy story. I had a client that he, he went and found this home and it was absolutely perfect. And he wrote an offer on it, went through inspections, everything looked pretty good. And he was like, I just have some concerns about the roof. And the real estate agent went back and was like, hey, let's see what we can do. They replaced the entire roof for him, made a insurance claim and everything. Then he started asking about the foundation. Long story short, we are basically clear to close on the transaction. And he's like, you know what? I'm just having cold feet. And he walked away from it. And this agent was such a gangster that he got his earnest money back. It was unbelievable.
This same thing happened to me.
But like shit like that, or like and that's one of many. I have another one.
And so then wait, we're gonna stick to this for a second.
Yeah.
So there's clients that I feel as though if they backed out of their transaction, they would go find another house. And then there's clients I feel like if they backed out of their transaction, they're never going to buy a house. And I don't know which is necessarily right for them, but sometimes I feel as though I have to bodyguard the deal to make sure they purchase because I feel like it's for their own good. But yeah, anyway.
I'm not joking, and you're going to, I had almost the exact same situation happen again this week. Client, same thing, roof. The customer or the sellers were like, we'll fix it. Then they did a sewer scope, and it's cast iron plumbing. There's nothing wrong with it, but they want it replaced, $35,000. So the sellers are like, look, we'll either replace the cast iron sewer or we'll replace the roof, but we're not going to do both.
I can't believe they would replace a perfectly good sewer.
And the guy's like, I'm going to walk. I'm not exaggerating. I am clear to close on that loan. Yeah. The real estate agent tried to hold it together. I guess the point I'm trying to make, and this isn't a diss on anybody, I think I'm guilty of it as well. I think we're all guilty of it. I think that we are not being tough enough in the beginning because we're afraid we're going to spook a buyer into not buying. And I think it's worse to waste all that time and money than it would be to really just have a buyer be like, you know what, I'm just not feeling this before they go under contract, I guess is what I'm getting at. And the fact that I've seen more mutual releases in the last 12 to 24 months than I think I've seen in my entire career, I think it's just a testament of how, and I hate saying out of control because I'm not trying to control my client literally, but kind of what you said really hit a nerve for me. I do know what's best for my client, in regards to home ownership. And the fact that a person is online looking at homes, walking through houses, everything along those lines, can afford, right? We know they can afford it. That right there is a recipe for you should buy, right? You should. It's what's best for you. And I know that in 2020, 2021, when it was hey, do you want this house? Oh, sorry, it's off the market. We treated clients so much differently than we are treating them now. And how many clients out there did we pretty much kick off the edge in 2020 and 2021? Some that we even made pay over asking that right now are beating their chests with their 3% interest rates and all of their fucking equity. And, we were yeah, this is what you should do. And now we're let me work on getting your earnest money back after you absolutely fucked these sellers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how much equity these 2021 buyers are actually sitting on. Yeah, they've paid more to their principal, but
21?
When their house has gone down in value by that much?
Maybe. I don't know.
And I don't know if... I think agents are worried that their clients are scared to buy a house right now. I mean, you see more inventory, there's fewer buyers. And I think agents are trying to be real nice and real accommodating and over-promising their buyers. Oh, we can get whatever you want. We can get whatever
See, but that's my
concessions.
point. I don't know if that's what the best practice is. It's like
Oh, I don't think it is.
it's
But
like
I
it's
think,
like being a parent that like wants to be friends with your kid. It's like you're a parent.
mhm. Yeah, but I think the agents are afraid of losing the buyer
Correct. I agree.
or afraid of the buyer deciding that, oh, I'm just going to renew my lease for another year and see what happens. I'm too afraid right now. And these agents are like, I need a deal. None of my listings are selling.
Right. But I don't know if that's like what's best for anyone is what I'm getting at. And I think in addition to the fact that like it's not good in general, I think it's like really hurting us in the long run. But I'm glad you brought that up because I want to say my next call to action, which is based on that. I want real estate agents to connect me with that buyer that is scared, that does think this is stressful. Because I've always said that the best buyer is a confident buyer. That's another thing I'm seeing. I think there's way too many homes being showed right now without people going through pre-approval process. And I used to say that's a problem because I used to be like, make sure your buyer's pre-approved because you don't want to go through this entire freaking rigmarole to find out that they're not eligible to buy. Now, what I'm seeing is real estate agents are running buyers that without pre-approvals, and they know in their heart of hearts that this client's good to go, right? What I'm getting at is I'm not telling you to get your buyer pre-approved so that you can figure out whether or not they can be approved. I'm saying get your buyer in front of a lender, me, because you need them to have a conversation about the money side of things to either build up their confidence if there's fear or, bring them to reality if they have some sort, because what I'm seeing a lot of is like, oh, I want to keep my payment around $2,500 a month. They can afford a $5,000 mortgage payment if we let them, but they've got this like number in their head. And then all of a sudden, when the numbers come up and everything, they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. It's not because they can't. It's because now they've just got fictitious numbers of what it costs. And I'm telling you, like, I get a hold of these buyers and we have these conversations, and either A, we get them off the fence in terms of the fear, and now they're writing offers confidently, or B, we get that budget from that $2,500 a month that they think they're going to be at or want to be at, and we can move that upward because we explain the benefits that are associated with purchasing. And that is another mistake that I feel like I'm seeing way too much of. It's like, oh, I know he's good for it. I know he's good for it. I'm like, I'm not arguing if he's good for it or not. I am arguing that he is not confident when he is walking into these homes. And you're going to show 5 to 7 extra homes that you wouldn't have to show if you have a confident buyer. And I think I'd love your answer. Like, if you see too many homes, it can start to kind of go like in a bad direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, but the other one this, and I don't know about that, and this one and that. I remember one time I was looking at homes for myself, and I saw like 7 or 8 homes in a day, and I kind of forgot about 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't even remember. And my agent was like, you remember the one with the like red door? I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I only had one day with these renters last week, and we saw 12 houses. That was brutal. I don't remember 6 of them.
What do you think the number is? How many homes is too many homes in a day?
More than 5.
5 is the number?
We should cap it at 5.
So if someone wants...
Now, the one thing would be, let's say someone came in from out of town. They only have a day. I'm willing to bend on that a little. But, yeah, I think after 5, there's no way you can remember the first 2. And also, if you're showing them more than 5, like, you need to figure out a way to eliminate some of these because they can't all be fitting their criteria perfectly. Mm-hmm. But also, I usually expect clients to write an offer after I've shown them 6. Like, usually 6 houses seems like right about the number where they kind of get to this point where they're like, I'm kind of tired of walking through other houses. And they start to mentally say, you know what? This is the best one of the ones we've seen. We've seen a couple. I think I'm ready to make an offer. And usually the first one they throw out is never a good offer. Um, but I'm usually excited to write it because once I get past the fright of signing a DocuSign, then it's so much easier to get them to sign future ones. The first one, you explain every little detail in the offer, because I had someone tell me once, this was in 2021, that I didn't explain what they had signed. And despite that, it didn't even matter. He didn't even go under contract. I felt bad that he didn't know what he signed. He was a lawyer too. So he was just a dingus. And then he ghosted me after that. Anyway, but I just wanted to, fully make sure that they know what they're signing. After the first one, I said, this is a price. This is any term that changed. Sign it. And they usually sign it in 30 seconds. They don't take 2 days. I had something else to bounce off of that and lost it.
It's okay. It happens. Yeah. Like I said, the thesis of this entire little rant was, I think we as professionals need to get better or get back to being the professional. And if that loses you a client, I would argue that client wasn't serious to begin with. And I think we need to start handling objections a little better. And I think we need to, I think the term I want to use is, I think we need to start standing up for ourselves a little more.
Would agents rather have unserious looky-loos right now or nobody at all?
I know the answer to this.
I think they'd rather the
unserious looky-loos, because everybody wants to feel like they're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I've managed salespeople my entire life, and that's one thing that I have always said is very difficult in sales to what's the word? Kind of get over. People want to come in and they want to look for things to do on the deals that are already pretty much like sold. It's like, all right, I'm in now. Like, what do I need to do on this transaction that's already under contract? It's like, not much. That should be like at the end of it, right? Like, or the end of your day, excuse me. What you need to do is you need to find a new piece of business. And that's the part that nobody wants to do. So if you've got 2 or 3, what did you call it? Looky-loos, you feel like, I'm doing something. Mm-hmm. I'm busy. But I forget. I think it was Michelle Hendricks that said, are you busy or are you productive? Because those are 2 different things. And I think you have a lot of busy agents and not a lot of productive agents.
Yeah, I agree.
And being busy is stupid. It's stupid. Like, oh, I'm busy. We're all busy.
I could argue that showing houses to people that are probably just looky-loos is probably better than just sitting at your desk hoping something happens.
Of course. Well,
because at least you're getting out and looking at houses.
Sure.
At least you're filming something. At least you're meeting and talking to people and practicing. The answer should never be sitting at your desk just hoping something happens.
Right.
But I think, I was saying the other day, sometimes I just need a framed bulletin that just says what to do when you don't know what to do, and look at it and say, have I done that today?
I have a proposition for you, by the way, that I wanted to, and I'll just do it on air here. And I want this to go out to all of the agents out there. But frankly, I don't know if I want it for every agent, but those of you that know me, that's usually anyone who sees this is someone who knows me. I very rarely have new agents. I used to do this, and I want to.
It's actually just your friends in Cleveland that watch it.
Yeah, I used to do this, and I want to get back to doing this. Shout out to Jessica Rattray. She's the person that I thought about. I want you to put together a list of either past clients, renters, whatever you want, even if it were leads that you currently had. And I want to do call blocks where I call your clients for you in front of you for an hour and set appointments for you.
Tell me more.
Well, this is what I used to do. So it really worked well with agents that had leads, right? Whether they were getting them through Zillow or maybe their company provided them, whatever, and they'd called on them a few times, or even if it was like your past clients, right? I will call as your assistant. right? So obviously the type of lead will depend on what we're doing, but like we'll jump, hang out, we'll come in my office. I'll do 1 hour call block on whatever lead source it is that you have. And I'm basically going to be calling and saying, like, if it's your leads, I'm going to say, hey, it's Matt Kirschling. I'm Chase Cangelosi's assistant. I'm reaching out because you and Chase connected through this, or better yet, maybe you're a lead. You applied for something. You took interest at an open house, whatever it is, right? I mean, obviously the lead will have some sort of theme. Like, Chase is just trying to reconnect with clients. We wanted to get a feel for where you are in the home buying process. Is this something you're still considering doing? And ultimately see if I can set an appointment for you. What do you think about that?
So this works really well with home buyer leads or past renters. This is not for people who already own. Well, I guess it could
I
be.
don't see why not. I mean, if it's a past client of yours, wouldn't you be interested in,
In knowing if they wanted to make a move? Yeah.
Or just reconnecting with the past client and then asking them, hey, like, who do you know? I mean, one of the things that my coach made mention of that I thought was really, really good was instead of just saying like, hey, who do you know that may be looking to buy or sell in the next couple of months? I mean, I think 99% of your past clients would be like, I don't know anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then saying, do you know anybody who rents?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows somebody who rents.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm doing homeowner seminars, right? Like home ownership seminars. And I would really like to get their contact information just so that I can introduce myself, whether it be text or email, and then invite them to the homeowner seminar on, buying a home. It's a way to generate leads. It's a warm lead because it's through a past client. I could make that call for you.
Mm.
And then I could say, Chase really misses you and he would love to grab a cup of coffee.
But he's too busy sitting right here in front of me to make this call himself.
But it's a good look, right?
Yeah.
And so the point I'm trying to make is like, the reality is you're right. You probably should be making that call yourself. But I talk to a lot of agents and, they lie to themselves and say they do, but they don't. And I'm saying, look, you don't even have to make the call. Your assistant will make the call. I can't afford an assistant, Matt. I am your assistant. I will make that call for you. Come to my office. Bring me your leads. I will call them in front of you. That gives me FaceTime with an agent. That gives me the potential to generate business for an agent, which in turn gives me a possibility of generating a buyer for myself. And I used to do this.
Why wouldn't you introduce yourself as their lender partner instead?
Oh, I might as well say I'm Dracula.
Oh.
Right? Ring, ring, ring. Hey, how are you? Hi, this is Matt Kirschling with Gold Star Mortgage. Mortgage?
Oh.
Right?
That's true.
Like, yeah, no, absolutely not. I am Chase Cangelosi's personal assistant. You give that a think.
I will give that a think. I mean, there's some people that would be like, ooh, I don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get when you call them.
But that's just it. Like, that's the other part of it, right? Like, I am just an unsuspecting third party. So if they're like, yeah, fuck Chase, like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. I actually just got off the phone with one of his other past clients. They were raving about how
they also hated him.
They were talking about how amazing he was. But I just,
God, what happened that was out of his control that he tried to throw his commission at and you still got mad later?
Yeah. So agents, if you're afraid to call your past clients or your renters or anything like that, I'm not. Come to my office. I will schedule an hour and it won't be cold call. I will call all of your clients as your assistant and set appointments for you so that we can hopefully get some buyers.
I also want to reiterate while we're on the subject of people I'm afraid to call back. The ones that I feel like don't like me are the ones where they either don't like their house that they chose, because I know a few where I'm like, as soon as they moved in, they started hating their house, and somehow that reflected on me. Despite that it was, again, the house they chose. And it's the ones where something happened in the transaction that rubbed them the wrong way. And it's never anything I did. It's always the seller, the cheapo discount lender they chose, it's almost always the seller, something that the inspector missed, something that the seller repaired incorrectly. So that's why it's important to have good quality partners that you work with
Call
as
that a dream
realtors.
team.
Yes. So try out several inspectors before you determine one that you feel is the most thorough, that doesn't scare your clients, but does give them an accurate understanding of what they're walking
You're
into.
saying this to the real estate.
I'm saying this to the realtor. Not to the buyer. Don't get 5 general inspections.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then work with a good lender. Don't allow your buyers to choose the discount lender just because. And that's all. I mean, you can't really control the sellers. The sellers can do what they want.
Local lender, right? Like someone who is not working in like a gigantic call center atmosphere, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
If you call a lender and you're like, "Hey, are you working in a corporate environment surrounded by other loan officers?" And they're like, "Yeah, there's like 500 of us on the floor." Just hang up the phone.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street.
Correct. If you are calling a Wolf of Wall Street mortgage lender, it's not a
Wolf of Main Street.
You're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time.
If you are calling Better Mortgage, they suck. I will remind everyone on here.
Yeah.
They tried to deport my client to Vietnam.
You said it was better?
Yeah.
Better.
They're like, we can't even prove that he's allowed to live in this country. I'm like, that's a way to put it. And he's like, I haven't been to Vietnam since I was 1 year old. I work for IBM. They'll never see this.
That's why you don't do that. So, anything else you want to cover, Chase?
Oh, I have a random one. And this, I don't know. So I have New Year's resolutions, but I re-listened to the book Atomic Habits, and I learned New Year's resolutions are stupid. New Year's systems are good.
Ooh.
Because a system is something that we can practice every day. My resolution, I want to have visible abs by the time I turn 30 on May the 1st. That's, if I wake up every morning and don't see abs, I said I failed. But if I have systems, I am going to protect my 8 hours of sleep a night. I am going to ensure I go to the gym for my 5 sessions a week. I'm going to get 10,000 steps a day. I'm going to count 170 grams of protein every day. I am going to extremely minimalize my amounts of carbs and fats and sugar. But something else that's also important to me is protecting my peace. So something that I just started, and it's been great so far.
Peace as in P-E-A-C-E? Like peace.
Yes.
Got it.
Well, and my piece of the pie, I guess. I don't know. Protect my piece of the commission split. But it's something that I've been doing is, since I have tough time going to bed early and waking up early. I've never been a morning person. Never really been a go to sleep early person either. My bedtime I'm setting for myself is roughly 11 o'clock. If it turns into 11:15, whatever. And then waking up at 7:30, which, for those who don't know, my bedtime used to be between 1:30 and 2, waking up at 9:30, which now I look at that and I'm like, it's kind of wasting a lot of time. But also, I would wake up before and immediately pick up my phone because I'd already have things that have income by then and start scrolling. And then, of course, you start scrolling social media, and then it's 11 by the time I get out of bed. Mm-hmm. And I might have answered the business text, but it's still 11 by the time I get out of bed. So something that I've changed, my phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 10 o'clock, and it stays on DND until I have gotten out of my bed and done a 2-mile morning walk. Then when I come back into my house, I turn it back from DND.
I love that.
And my sleep has been improved. I look forward to my morning walk. I get this burst of energy and sunlight and vitamin D and happiness, and it just clears my brain before I get started with all the stuff that happens during the day. And usually during that walk, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a good day.
I love that.
So protect your peace.
Protect Your peace. Yeah, I'm a big early riser. I started doing that when I turned about 28, and I never went back. And I don't know how people. I mean, if I don't get up before 7, like it fucks everything up. It really does, because I gotta work out for my sanity. That's an hour, right? So even if I were to like wake up at 7, and then I get to the gym, and then I work out, that's an hour and a half plus a shower. That's 2 hours. That means I can't even get started at work until 9, and that's if everything goes great. And I'm like kind of rushing through that, you know. So anytime anybody tells me like, oh yeah, I usually get up around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm like, crazy.
See, so if I set the alarm for 7:30, I'm guaranteed I will start that walk by 8 because I'll probably hit snooze twice. I'll start that walk by 8. Let's be honest. Um, and and then I will be back from that walk by 8:45 if I'm going slow. Um, and where's I going with this? Oh yeah, so then I'm eating breakfast at night. Oh, that's a new one. I'm eating breakfast every day, and meal prepping steak and eggs. Um, and yeah. Anyway, so 6 would be too early, but I really like my after work workout because to me that's like the release at the end of the day, and I can take as long as I want.
That's true.
Because I have tried the before work, and you are rushing through it. Yeah. And if there's someone on your equipment, then it's like, oh, well, I'll just have to skip it to this morning.
I mean, if you're going to Lifetime, I used to go to Lifetime. If you're going to Lifetime between like 5:30 and 7, it is an absolute fucking zoo.
So it is, but for some reason, I kind of like that. I don't know. There's something that's kind of motivating about seeing all these other people also working out, and usually from afar as you're approaching the lifting area, it looks like a zoo. But then once you get up to it, like maybe you'll wait for one person to finish a machine before you get up.
Well, I like it. I'm glad that you are putting in New Year's systems. I think that's important. I think that's something we can all learn from. I like it. I've been talking a lot about the whole goal thing, and yeah, goals are kind of stupid. I actually had somebody today in the networking meeting get up and talk about quarterly goals like you've been talking about.
Yes, the 12-week year.
I thought that's what Chase talks about. So
yeah, I think it's important to establish a new New Year's resolution every quarter because it's going to change.
What are let's end with this. What is a thing that you want to purchase as a goal in the first quarter of this year?
Is this like
I'll go first.
Okay.
I really want to get a really cool espresso and cold brew and like latte machine for the office.
Well, that's exciting. I want you to get that too.
Well, I have some things that have to happen, but that's like the end goal. So how about you? Is there anything you want to splurge on and buy yourself if like you have a really good quarter?
Gosh. See, I was gonna say a new house to flip, but that's not really splurge. I mean, that's something. If I find the right one, I'll find the right one. Something that I was excited to buy, despite this not a splurge by any means. It was like $10, but I've never owned a milk frother before.
Yeah.
So you know how Starbucks making this like cold foam and selling it for like $8.99?
Yes.
Okay, all you have to do is take your protein shake and it's like
Correct.
1 ounce of it. Put on top of your coffee. Oh my god, it's so exciting!
I can't believe you didn't know that.
That's incredible. I really can't think of anything better. I'm gonna. Actually, this is like TMI, but I'm just gonna share it to the world. Yeah, my big splurge. It's medical. I want to get genetic testing for cancer.
Okay.
This is something that my mom's been pushing me to do for a while, but I've had cancer in my family.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had breast cancer. My dad died of pancreatic cancer. My grandmother died of pancreatic cancer. If you knew ahead of time if you were potentially going to get certain diseases, it definitely makes you live your life differently about how you could approach them.
Yeah. There's a place that does it that I go to. I haven't done their screening there, but I do their other stuff with blood and everything is Ways to Well.
Because I know this isn't going to be cheap.
They're here in
And my
It's
insurance
not that expensive. No, your insurance I don't think will cover it.
Mine doesn't cover a dental checkup.
Don't hold my feet to the fire on this, but I want to say it's only like it's like 2,000 or 3,000. I mean,
Oh, the number I had in mind was 1,000. So you just upped it by a lot.
I don't know. I think that's pretty inexpensive.
Yeah,
$1,000.
Well, you would think this is one of those things they could just draw blood and send it like Ancestry.com.
Oh, I don't know. I think they do a blood thing, and then there's like a scan too. I'll look into it for you. They're always sending me, because they send me everything. I was planning on doing one of their other things, which is like they test like your VO2 max and all this other stuff, and basically like
we should go at the same time. You can be on tables next to each other like a spa.
Well, this one's not about cancer. This one's more about like pretty much there's some tests that you can take that are pretty much going to tell you like how long you're going to live.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can change that number if you like get your shit together type of thing. So
the death clock.
I want to go and like get this test, and they basically tell me like, hey, like you're probably going to live like a really long time. Like your body's operating correctly, or they're going to be like, bro. Like one of them I know for a fact is like grip strength. Like how long can you like hang on a bar? Like I know that's one of them. VO2 max is another one, which I don't fully understand what that means, but I looked it up on ChatGPT, and I don't want to talk about it and sound stupid. So I kind of get it, but yeah, there's some things.
So a firmer grip strength, it means you'll live longer?
Yeah. Yeah, these are like signs of longevity. Like another one I heard, and I don't know if this is like part of the test, like how, can you get up off the ground without like using your hands? Shit like that. Like if you're like sitting down.
I wonder how much this one costs.
This one's not that bad. I know that it is like, I think it's like $500.
That I could do.
I'll send you I said, they bombard me with emails and everything because I get my blood work done there, and that's basically what they are. They're like a non-insurance based, like it's all like these things that insurance isn't going to cover, but they spend all the money for all the machines.
It's like almost biohacking, but there's no hacking. It's just bio-telling.
Yeah, but to your point, like if you knew, like, hey, you have a higher propensity of like, I don't know, colon cancer, they might say, hey, here's foods you should probably stay away from.
So I would know. Never eat aspartame and never touch processed meats.
Right. And you could be like, holy shit, okay, I won't do that. Or they might be like, yeah, there's really no cancers that you're really prone to. You can just...
guns away. I'm going to eat all the sausage in the world.
Don't be an asshole, but you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good information to know.
Well, let's
we will follow up on my medical stuff. We're going to get a doctor on here.
Let's hope after this quarter that we are drinking fancy espressos from a full-blown like Starbucks machine.
That's our next.
While talking about our results for our health.
All right.
Look at that.
Exciting.
We just made a goal.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have this out. Barbecue and mingle Friday. I don't have any things. It's back on. Let's do it. Tri-tip. Come and get it. We're smoking it, but it's going to be like a roast. I'm going to do it kind of rare. It's going to be healthy. We're going to put some honey mustard.
Woohoo!
It's going to be a good time.
I love honey mustard.